Okay, so today we're looking at the activation of the golden heart field, as well as distortions in the golden heart field, and how we can access this information and work with it. So the golden heart begins developing when you're in 5D. And this is Christ consciousness, essentially the anchoring in of Christ consciousness into your being. And it's always there. It's always a potential, and it's always there to connect with. But this is a full activation of that embodiment within you, okay? So once you move into 5D and you ground there, then you have to go through levels and layers of clearing and purification and awakenings and raising your consciousness and all this, raising your frequency to about 10,000 kilohertz. Once you get there, you stabilize for a while. And then as you're going through 5D, the 6D system begins building. It begins anchoring to the physical body. You begin connecting to the 6D energies. You begin anchoring in the cosmic gateway, closer into the physical body, strengthening your connection to the cosmic field, strengthening your connection to the rose gold core of the 6D, and the golden heart begins forming, okay? So this is what they're showing me today. And right now it looks like this energy, the cosmic gateway is fully activated, opened. The Earth star is fully activated, open. So they're showing me just the golden heart, and it is closed down. And this was so that I was aware that this is what we were talking about. And how you begin to work with this energy to strengthen it and to clear it. So if you're anchored into 3D, you're not going to be able to work with fifth density blocks and distortions. You have to clear all the 3D blocks first. All of the distortions, programs, and issues in 3D, and then same with 4D. Then you can move into the 5D, and sometimes there's some back and forth because you can anchor into the 5D but still have some residual stuff in 3D. Same thing happens with the 6D to 5D. So here you're clearing all the 5D blocks, and as you're doing that, you're beginning to build the 6D light body. Okay, but all of the blocks and distortions in 5D, for the most part, have to be cleared before you fully anchor into the 6D system, okay? But once you do that, then you can access the energies in the collective field, in the golden heart field. And it's primarily the golden heart field and the collective field that will only be shown in 6D, and primarily 6D moving into 7D. So you can't access the distortions in the 6D system until you're ready to transition into 7D, okay? They won't be shown to you because you don't need to clear them. They're a high frequency. Your consciousness has to be evolved to that level to actually be able to process, understand, and clear those energies, okay? So I was being shown 2 blocks in the golden heart field. So this person needs to work on the development of the golden heart and the expansion and strengthening of the golden heart field. And there's 2 meditations, and I have another meditation I'm going to put in the space that's a lot more powerful. It works with the full golden heart field, which is massive. It's like, I think I've explained this before, like 30 feet approximately. It can be infinite as well. And you can take that golden heart field once you activate it within your own field, and you can basically use bilocation and place it in areas on the planet or around the entire planet and use it to help clear negative energy, as well as strengthen that golden consciousness and golden light energy anywhere. Okay. So, and if you have access to this, you can do this at any point in time. It's just a really, really high frequency energy to learn to work within that capacity. Okay, so I was shown 2 blocks in this field, and the golden heart field is a torus. It's a golden torus, and there's a pillar of golden light that comes through you. And it's anchored into the golden heart once that's fully developed. So the distortions in this torus show up as broken lines of energy essentially. So this energy coming from the golden heart gets distorted before it expands out and comes back in. Okay, so once we clear these, there's a clear line of energy moving through the entire system. And these distortions in the 70 were usually caused from a past life or future life, however you want to look at it, where there was a trauma when you were a 70 being, which does happen. And it's actually not that uncommon. Okay. So the first block is distortion around materialism and the need to shift perspectives into the more spiritual, energetic, and release the perception of materialism or material reality being real. So it could be financial, but we're more looking at the perspective in your mind of rocks and stones versus spiritual reality and what is real. And they're both real to an extent, but everything births from the spiritual energetic realms and creates the physical. Okay, so there's a perspective shift here. And the guidance and recommendation is to work through meditation, spend more time in meditation, ceremony, and connecting to that presence more and less to the material, so that you can infuse the material with these higher spiritual energies instead of distorting the spiritual energies with the material reality. Okay, then we have a block or a distortion, and it actually has to do with abandonment. And so the trauma at a 7D level could have been an experience where you were exiled, or could have been during the Lyran Wars, some sort of pretty traumatic event where you were abandoned. And this block is basically a fear of that abandonment, of being outcasted. It could show up as imposter syndrome as well, because of a lot of people have the persecution imprint, and so when they were working with their higher dimensional gifts, etc., they were accused of doing horrendous things and outcast from their societies, etc., even at the higher levels. And you could have been in the earth plane and accessed the 7D consciousness or this Christ consciousness, and then were persecuted for it or exiled for it. And so that created a wound in the 7D level around abandonment. And so to heal this, we need to look at ourselves with unconditional love and non-judgment. So whatever you're experiencing spiritually, shift your perspective. Instead of being harsh about your beliefs or your reality that you experience spiritually, be compassionate and loving and understanding. And these two blocks actually go hand in hand, because we have the materialism, which pulls us out of those higher spiritual realms, and we think that's the way reality is. So it's basically the two realities. We have the 3D, we have the higher spiritual realities, and a lot of people's jobs that are here holding these higher frequencies is to bring that reality of spiritual presence into the earth plane and to anchor that in through your being. So as long as you have this division of realities and you allow yourself to pull and be resonant with mass consciousness in the bricks and stones reality, the harder it is going to be for you to resonate with these 7D levels and layers of the field. So these have to heal before you can fully activate the golden heart field and step into that embodiment of the golden and Christ consciousness. Okay. So the recommendations here to build the golden heart field. Okay, so the frequency here we're looking at is 16,000 kilohertz anchoring into the 60 core. But the golden heart field, when it's fully activated, there is even a shift higher, and they feel like full activation of this is around 20,000 kilohertz. So work on elevating the frequency so you can tune into this golden heart field. So the frequency has to be elevated for people to be able to access these higher levels of the field and work with them consciously. So that's being clear. If you want clarification on the golden heart field, you have to raise your frequency to that resonance. Okay. Golden guided meditations, the golden heart field, and the golden egg. So the golden egg helps you to build the golden heart. Okay, so if you're in 5D, you can begin working with these now. And the golden heart field meditation. And like I said, I'm going to probably do another one of these. I actually have to go back and look at this one, where we work with the golden pillar of light and anchor into the 70 core. This is much more advanced. And there's a few other recommendations here if you resonate with these. The layer specific fire invocation, golden guided. And this helps you to work with the separate levels and layers of the field with the gold. I do it with the white, the violet, and the gold flame. And so you can work with just the physical body, you can work with just the emotional field, you can work with just the mental field or the spiritual energies. And this helps you to harmonize the 4 bodies so that embodiment happens easier. Manifestation and precipitation, rainbow dragon recoding, and manifestation technique. Advanced manifestation techniques. So the soundscape meditation, light codes and activations is recommended. And because we are working with this activation of the golden heart and the golden heart field, it's recommended that you just sit with this soundscape and allow the information to come through you that you need to hear right now. Everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to get different information, different coding, different activations as you move through this. So there'll be different things to clear, to focus on, to heal, and different things needed from every one of you guys. So what you need to do is just sit with this and allow that information to come through. And that's why it's not a specific guided meditation for this, but rather the soundscape. So intend to receive what you need in that point, in that 0 point field. Okay, so that is it. We will see you next time.